We have to look at quarter one and quarter two together. We are very much within our guidance, which we said we'll do a double-digit top-line growth. And if you look at the first half, we are at 11% top line. And that's my belief that demand will continue to outpace supply. And as India grows, as India's GDP grows, as India becomes from number 5 to number 3 economy, it's just the beginning of a long journey for the hospitality sector. And within that, if we are the India's largest hospitality ecosystem, we will stand to benefit. There will be headwinds like we had in Q1 with an excessive heat wave, with the code of conduct, with less wedding dates in the first quarter. But all in all, I always say a year has 365 days or 52 weeks. And within that, given our very strong, not like-for-like growth with the change in the business model, we stand very well positioned to do well.
I'll get into specifics here, but the big question which everybody in a sense is trying to understand is that all other sectors have seen a slowdown because of a decline in consumer spending, apparel, cars, even air traffic. But the hotel industry is not experiencing that. Why is that? I mean, ultimately the hotel industry or the hospitality industry is a function of consumer spend and consumer demand and how good they feel. Everything is slowing down, but hotel rooms ke rate hi niche nahi hote.
Rate niche isliye nahi hota because if you actually take the values of 2008 and 9 in dollar terms, we are still lower than 2008 or 9. There's not been a real increase. In fact, there is a decrease. So a lot of the business comes from outside of India. A lot of business is business driven and not leisure driven. Leisure demand is for leisure destinations and maybe for of late staycations in metros. So I think given that the supply has got constrained and hotels have actually benefited. In hindsight, I must say the hotels have benefited because of COVID, because people learn to make changes to the business model, to the cost structure, both fixed and variable. And I think if you generally look at hotel sector, it will do better than it has done in the past. And everyone has tried to take out the volatility in the business to the extent possible. Some will remain, and obviously second half is very strong. Q3 is and will always remain the strongest quarter, followed by Q4 as the number 2. So I think all in all, the sector has progressed very well, and the sector is making money in Q1 and Q2, which 8-10 years ago was not the case. So I think in Q1, Q2, if you make money and Q3, Q4 comes as a bumper on top, you tend to do well, both as a sector and for us. As I said earlier, we are very well positioned to take advantage of all the possible tailwinds that we are getting.